Two questions, one on oil prices and one on COVID. On oil prices, you've alluded a couple of times today to the sort of impact on actual gas prices. I think it's over $3 a gallon now. Huge amount of travel over the holiday weekend. What is the president doing for regular Americans to try to keep the gas prices down, whether it be engaging with OPEC, but also is the president considering releasing from the strategic reserve? Are there other steps that the president can take to address what is obviously a painful situation, and how much do you guys worry on his behalf that it will become a political issue that could be damaging to the president and his party in the coming election?
In 18 months?
Well,
17 months? Okay. So I would say first, Mike, that the president wants Americans to have access to affordable and reliable energy, including at the pump. And so that's why our team is constantly monitoring gas prices and directly communicating with OPEC parties to get to a deal and allow proposed production increases to move forward. And the reason I've referenced it so many times is because I think there sometimes is a misunderstanding of what causes gas prices to increase. And so to convey to the American people that we're working on it, and certainly the supply availability of oil has a huge impact. I would also say that ensuring Americans don't bear a burden at the pump continues to be a top priority for the administration writ large. That's one of the core reasons why the president was vehemently opposed to a gas tax and any tax on vehicle mileage, because he felt that would fall on the backs of Americans, and that was a bottom line, red line for him. In terms of additional considerations, I just don't have anything to preview for you.
And then on COVID, the one thing that you steadfastly have stayed away from is any question of mandating the the vaccine. And I guess the question is, at what point Zeke Emanuel, I think, has a new op-ed out talking about how there needs to be more aggressive action taken. Employers are going to need to mandate that their employees take the vaccine, maybe once the FDA has fully cleared some of the vaccines. Does this administration envision a point where, even if it's not a federal mandate that every American has to take it, do you believe that we're going to have to get to a point where schools and employers and colleges and other institutions are going to have to require people to take the vaccine in order to get to that next stage, to get beyond the sort of plateau that we've reached now?
Well, we've always anticipated, and we're already seeing this happen, that some schools, universities, private schools, others will require and mandate the vaccine, and we leave it up to them to make that decision, as well as employers. And we know that different companies and private sector entities, or even learning institutions, are making decisions about how to keep their communities safe. So I wouldn't predict a federal mandate, as I'm not suggesting you're asking, but certainly we're already seeing that take place in communities across the country.
Encourage employers, and would you encourage schools, colleges to do that as a way of getting kind of a real acceleration of the vaccine adoption?
We're going to leave it up to them to make these decisions. Go ahead.
Sure. Thanks, Jen.
Sure.
A question on Nicole Hannah-Jones, who passed up a position at UNC, will be teaching down the road at Howard. She said this morning that it took protest, the threat of legal action, all this just to get to a 9-4 vote. What does Biden make of the UNC process and her decision? And is this an example of the systemic racism that he promised to heal?
Well, I have not spoken with the president about the decision on tenure by